Here are 5 inexpensive, excellent sounding, cool, funky jazz records that you can find at your local store today. These are musically awesome and will make you love your hi-fi setup. Doesn't matter if your setup is modest or expensive. These records could also be your gateway into some soul jazz. Now, obviously, by no means are these the best 5, but are in my rotation currently. And I'm limiting it to 5 because otherwise this would be a very long video. First one, Chico Hamilton, and the album's called Nomad. Don't let this cheesy album cover fool you. Not only is it musically fantastic, it is a really well recorded album. Chico Hamilton on drums, Carlos Munoz on keyboards, Kenny Gradney on bass, mastered by Bernie Grundman, and produced by Wayne Henderson. Some famous music industry names in the making of this album. And I remember buying this for $6 used at my local record store. As for the music, the tempo is just right to unwind after a tough workday, or perhaps even when you're doing light chores around the house. But I can't plan on doing anything when I play this record. Grabs my attention, and all I want to do is get lost in the melodies, the beautiful clean tone of the guitar, the superb swirling harmonies from the keyboards. The first 2 tracks are Magic Fingers and Mysterious Maiden, and they have that mild up-tempo funk. The third track, called Nomad, has a more relaxed pace, but I love to turn this track up. 3D soundstage, and the vocalizing from the chorus is mesmerizing. The bass is strong and the reverb from the keyboards is amazing. Yes, it has electronic drums on most tracks, but it is done so tastefully and sounds pretty awesome. I often get goosebumps enjoying this record. You should try finding this underrated gem. I think you'll love it. Next up is Earl Clug's Finger Paintings. This is a must-have in your jazz collection. I bought this used for about $7 many years ago. This is probably Earl Clug's most popular and best-selling album, and for good reason. Star cast ensemble on this album. Earl Clug on acoustic guitar, Lee Ritenour on electric guitar, Dave Grusing on Fender Rhodes and synth. Every track is a musical treat. The first side has a popping, snappy, funky pace to most tracks, like Dr. Macumba, Cabo Frio, Keep Your Eyes on the Sparrow. Heavy Latin influences with funky bass lines. Side B is a smooth ballad paced and has some wonderful melodies. Tracks like Catherine and Earl Klug's rendition of Dance With Me are amazing. The acoustic guitar playing and the haunting melody is guaranteed to make you swoon. Superb recording quality. You feel and hear the leading edge of the transients of the guitar string plucks with impact and clarity. The movement of the fingers on the fretboard, lovely air and shimmer over the delicate cymbal rides. Real punchy and articulate bass from the bass guitar, and strong, bold rhythm from the Fender Rhodes synth. I really enjoy my copy, and I've played the entire album twice over, several times. I don't get bored of it, and it is a strong jazz classic in my opinion. Definitely worth hunting down, and it's easily available for cheap. Just make sure you get a clean one without scratches. Next one is by the Crusaders, and it's called Southern Comfort. This is a solid jazz funk soul album. Wonderful lineup with Wayne Henderson on trombone, Wilton Fender on tenor sax, Joe Sample on keyboards, Larry Carlton on guitar, and Stix Hooper on drums. The grooviness of the music will simply make you get off your listening chair and turn it way up and dance. Some incredibly addictive, funky soul music throughout this album. The last 2 tracks, Whispering Pines and Ballad for Joe, are slightly different from the rest. some very intimate collaborations amongst the trombone, the sax, the bass guitar, and the keyboard playing here. And the last track, called Ballad for Joe, is an absolute masterpiece. Lovely melodies interlaced beautifully between the bass lines and keyboards. And the best part is that beautiful sounding keyboard solo that starts about 2.5 minutes into the track. And as for the sound quality, it is an outstanding example of deep, taut bass, lovely body from the keyboard tones, and sweet highs from the saxophone. Great album with some frenetic bass energy on most tracks. Not the boomy, uncontrolled kind, but tight, focused, and impactful. Definitely a must for jazz fusion lovers. This next one is by Freddie Hubbard. It's called Super Blue. This one's an absolute jazz classic as well. Another amazing lineup of musicians here. Freddie Hubbard, of course, on trumpet, Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Kenny Barron on keyboards, Ron Carter on bass, Jack DeJohnette on drums. Even features George Benson playing the guitar on my favorite track on this album. The opening track is called Super Blue and has this splendid rhythm and horn playing. Lovely catchy bass lines here. Melodious saxophone. My favorite is the second track called To Her Ladyship. Lovely ballad style playing with gorgeous tone from George Benson's guitar. All tracks on this album are gems. This is another definite jazz classic and certainly worth hunting down. Next one coming up is the eponymous album by Hiroshima. This band has been around since 1974 and is still making music now. It is an Asian American band with this really cool R&B jazz, heavy Japanese influence in the sound by the use of the flute, the koto, the taiko drums, and lots of high energy tracks in here with gorgeous vocals. And the Japanese instruments like the koto and the shakuhachi flute just make listening to this album a sheer delight. Those taiko drums bring that exciting punch and rhythm to the music as well. Track number 3 is a beautiful, mellow, smooth number called Kokoro. Lovely combination of flute, keyboard, and electric bass guitar. The album's recording and sound quality is simply excellent. This record will not only showcase the strengths of your hi-fi system, but will also have you enjoying this unique combination of blues-infused R&B jazz and the sound of Japanese instruments. Now, if you're looking to upgrade to a fantastic, affordable record player, you should check out my video of the Riga Planar 1. Excellent performance. And the player could be your first serious record player and quite possibly the last one you will need if you're solely focused on musicality. Also, here are some of my videos on phono cartridges that deliver amazing sonic performance for the money. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your favorite bargain jazz record finds in the comments below.